What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm A.K.A and we are locked in. This is episode 5 of Queens Do Anything for Clout. So you know what that means? They about to act a fool. We have to address the elephant in the room first. We know that Brianna's husband passed away. And at the funeral, Alexis showed up. You know, the side thing. And she may be pregnant. So before we break this down, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you'll be a part of it. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, she may be pregnant. We seen Brianna whooping on her because she was like, hey, what are you doing here? But now, is she going to have a change of heart? So let's jump into it. This is Queens, episode 5. We start the episode off with little Muffin. What do we know about her? She's been in rehab. She's trying to get her career back on track. Now, we're looking at a video that she has called I'm That Chick. And it looks like it's in medieval time. But she comes in, she has her boys with her. And she's over here dancing, talking about, I got a Ferrari in LA or something that's white. But she's that chick. So we like, okay, little Muffin is back. While all this is going on, we hear the music in the background. We see Jill the Thrill out here. She's getting love from the fans because she came out. So all of her fans are like, oh, let me get a picture. Let me get an autograph. V is low-key jealous because no one's paying no attention to her. They talking about, hey, you take the picture. We don't want a picture with you. Brianna, she's raising her family on her own, the 5 kids. You know, that's a tough task. Naomi, she's out with Eric and her daughter, and they're trying to get their family together. It turns out this music video was recorded prior to little Muffin going into rehabilitation. Now the music execs, they're looking at her and they're asking her, you see this video? This is what you were. Are you still that chick? A.K.A. can you get us back to that level? Because we need some money or we gonna drop you. Little Muffin comes out of the meeting. Now she's been telling Eric she wants more control over what she got. You know, I don't want to do and wear all the clothes that they want me to wear. I want to do things as me. I want to keep my personal life separate from little Muffin. Now Naomi's telling her, you haven't been out that long. It's kind of hard. So you need to take it easy. What she wants to do is start living a normal life, you know, without all of the spotlight on her. She wants to see if she can adapt. Eric's been working his butt off because he's got to get some kind of money. Little Muffin, she's been in rehab. The ladies, the last performance they had in San Diego was bad. And he's like, look, all right, I got us a live performance at the AMAs, American Music Awards. Now, some of the women, they're like, well, the performance we had in San Diego was bad. We don't know about this. Now, you see Jill over here. She's getting all of this going on. Now, you remember the lady that did the interview over? She's over here pretty much just being her advisor. Like, hey, that'll be good. You know what I'm saying? Say yes to this. Now, the ladies have to get together and put in that work because the first time they thought they were just going to go out there and just kill it. We need real work now. Brianna has a lot on her plate. She just lost her husband. She has 5 kids to take care of. And she found out that Alexis is pregnant at the funeral. Now, she actually comes and talks to Alexis and she's asking her, do you feel like you're going to keep it? I know it's jealous of me to ask, but I want to know because your child would be a sibling to the 5 that I have. Now, Alexis is saying she has a lot of student debt. She doesn't know if she wants to keep it. She's 24 years old. She doesn't know what she's going to do. Well, that sounds like an easy decision. Like, you know what I'm saying? But she says she needs time to think about what she's going to do. Unfortunately, this time is ticking. You don't have time to, I'm not going to say it because, you know, people have their feelings about that. But Brianna ultimately tells her, this is your decision if you want to keep this child or not. She wants to know because at the same time, it's still going to be part, not of her family, but her kids. And she's going to want her kids to know their sibling at least. And if there's anything that, you know, Jeff left behind, her kid's entitled to it too. He gets a 1/6 of it. Well, whatever she's having, a boy or a girl, he gets a 1/6 of whatever Jeff left. The other 3 ladies, they're over here practicing. They're doing their things. What do we know about Valeria? She used to be on TV every single day. So she used to do stuff to her face, you know, a little Botox, a little lift here, a little touch up there. But they're telling her you don't need to do any of that. Last time you did something to your face, you broke out in rashes. So she's saying, all right, you know, I'm not going to do that because they're trying to tell her you're a queen. You're beautiful how you are. I don't know why anybody does anything to their face unless it's like you got an accident or something. I don't think you should do any cosmetic to your face or to your body. You are who you are. But they're convincing her, don't touch your face. Well, she took their advice. She didn't get anything done to her face. She went and got them butt shots. You know what I'm talking about? Get that thing to plump up a little bit. Now she's in the bed. And like I told y'all earlier, she low-key hating on Jill because Jill's getting all the fame she talk about. Man, Jill's a little bit more famous than me. Hey, it is what it is. Everyone gets their chance to shine. Just right now, it isn't yours. So she's stuck in his bed because, you know, them shots. Y'all be seeing all them videos of them coming over from the DR with them illegal shots that they got in them wheelchairs. Later on that night, the alarm goes off in her house and V's like, man, what the heck? She jumps up with a knife. Now she's limping around the house because those butt shots, they hurt. She shouldn't be on her feet at all. But she's running around. She's like, what the hell is this? When she gets outside, she sees the vehicle drive off and she starts to think about it. Wait a minute, I have a stalker? Someone's obsessed with me? So for her, she just wants the attention. Whether it's good or bad attention, she don't care. She wants it. Now, little Muffin, she's trying to live this regular life. She's in the store. She got about 10 boxes of cereal in her basket. I'm talking about she don't know how to do no kind of cooking. She goes over to the to the meat section and she's like, hey, let me get 4 things of ham. He's like, what, 4 pounds or 4 hams? Either way, that's too much. What is she gonna do with an actual ham? I know for sure she's not about to throw that thing in the oven or nothing. She's not about to glaze it. But he's like, look, what we're gonna do is we'll give you a half a pound of ham and you going about your way. She said, good, thanks. I'm just trying to live the regular poor person's life. He's looking like, hey man, is this a TV show? I'd be looking around like, hey, a normal poor person. This is regular people's life. You don't have to be poor. And you're not gonna be poor coming in here buying a half a pound of ham. When she gets to the checkout line, she's looking around. She's trying to take her glasses off so, you know, some of the younger women can notice her because she still wants that attention. Even though she's trying to live a normal life, you know, once you get that fame, 99% of them, they can't handle it. It's like, oh man. But these girls, they're like, oh, who is this? And they look at the magazine, they start clowning like, little Muffin, she thought she was a big artist. We forgot she even exists. So this just makes her mad and she storms out because, hey, when you've been gone, the minute you're here, it could be gone a second that you step away. Eric's out with his alleged daughter. I'm just going to say alleged daughter because we haven't took a paternity test or anything. We're not for sure. We may need Murray still because I'm still thinking it might be Cameron's. But they're out here and he's just talking to her. She's asking him about his chain. He's saying, man, you know, this is hip hop. Now, there's 2 white kids that come up and they seem... they're younger, you know, teenage, maybe early 20s. And they're talking to him about his mixtapes from when he was a rapper. And he's like, okay, cool. But he's kind of thinking this is off because y'all wouldn't have listened to none of my music. Well, it turns out these kids were there for one thing and one thing only. That gold chain. Of course, his is bigger than mine, and I wouldn't wear no like that out in public unless I'm going to an event with security. But they snatch his chain, and he tries to chase him down. And his daughter is saying, why are you doing this? This doesn't make any sense. And he's saying, well, this is hip hop culture, and it's the principle. If you get your chain snatched, listen to me, people. If you get your chain snatched, that's the worst thing that can do to somebody in hip hop. So he's trying to tell his daughter, this is my culture. And you're about to go on a ride and learn what goes down in the hip hop world. Now back to the ladies. They're out here rehearsing. Now Jill the Thrill, she isn't here because she got big things coming up that no one needs to know about. Now V, she's over here sitting in the chair because we know she can't get up. She just got these butt shots. So she's sitting there doing her thing in the chair. Now this is just random. If you watch BMF, she's actually the commander on there. I was like, okay, I knew she looked familiar. But the girls are practicing because they want to get this AMA performance down. This will lead to a tour, which leads to money. Jill's new boo thing pulls up and they're like, hey, where's Jill? She's like, oh, well, she's doing other things. Now, we know Jill's going through it with her husband. They're supposed to be getting a divorce. But what they're going to get is an annulment, which is better. An annulment pretty much means the marriage didn't happen. And that way, I recommend this to most parties. The judge won't be able to split up property because it's saying, hey, nothing ever happened. We didn't get married. It's not official. What I got is what I got. But most people do divorces so they can try to get some money out of it. Now, we hear her say they're going to be looking forward to seeing Jill and the Queens at the AMA Awards. And they're like, oh, this is our new names? And she's just like, yeah, big things are coming. Big things are coming. Jill's back at the house and she's trying to order a dress and they're trying to decide Fendi, Prada, designer is designer in my book. It's all expensive for no reason. But when she gets in here and she tries to buy it, her accounts are frozen. It's not going through. And it's I ain't never heard that. That means your account's really blocked if your computer's making a noise when you try to press enter on purchase or something. Usually they just say decline. Hers like well, she gets on the phone with her husband and he's like, you know what? You hurt me and I want you to be happy, but I can't let you go. Now, in my opinion, he made the right decision. He's protecting himself. He's protecting his assets. She left him for Tina. She's not with Tina anymore. And he just seen her on Instagram kissing her new agent slash publicist slash stylist slash do everything for her. So he's like, I'm protecting everything. And I don't really want to go through with the divorce or anything. I want to keep you. I want to at least hear your voice. But he eventually gives in and says, you know what? I'll go through it and I'll unfreeze the accounts. Me personally, I wouldn't unfreeze them. It's my money that we're spending. Like, you're spending my money. Do you guys hear this? You're spending my money. You left me. Why would I still give you money because you left? It just doesn't make sense. That's why you should get that annulment and not a divorce, because the divorce, she'll be able to get half. That house up in Montana, she'll be able to get it. Nah, man, don't unfreeze these accounts and get the annulment. Listen to your lawyer and Mo. Now, Eric's running around the city with his daughter because he's trying to figure out who has his chain. And it turns out he had a beef with Jadakiss from back in the day. Now, they show up. You hear Jadakiss over the radio. Security said, hey, boss, somebody named E-Rock or Eric or something wants to see you. Jadakiss like, bring him on up. Now, when he gets up here, I'm talking about Jadakiss is talking bad to him. He's like, Eric, why would I beef with you? I got enough money to buy 10 of them chains. I don't need that old beef. I don't have anything to do with this. Pretty much saying, Eric, you a little guy in the business. I'm really out here. I'm really doing it. You struggling with them queens. I'm iced out. Now get up out of here before I have my goons put their foot up y'all know what. Now, Eric, he's like, all right, well, it isn't Jadakiss. His daughter's like, man, I know this was kind of a scary situation, but at the same time, it was kind of cool. That was Jadakiss talking to you like that. I was going to say us, Dad, but he was talking to you. I ain't got no issues with him. Back to little Muffin. Now, you know, she's kind of dealing with not having the fame anymore because she went off to rehab and it's like people forgot about her. So she's in the studio. She's asking her friends, hey, have I fell off? Some of them are like, some of them are like, oh, no. Pretty much being yes, man. You need someone that's going to tell you, Muffin, you fell all the way off. At this point, you might as well be in our entourage and we ain't even on. But, you know, they eventually tell her, man, it's looking bad out here for you. So now she has to come up with something to do with her image to at least get that spark back. Still stay herself, but also be Little Muffin and get Little Muffin to rise back up. Y'all get that? Little Muffin, rise up? Yeah, just a play on words, people. So her homeboys are like, this is what you got to do to stay on top of the game. And they go over and show her like Doja Cat. She got a chain with like her butt diamond encrusted on it. So, of course, you see this all the time with rappers and a lot of people in the music industry. Oh, they got a big chain. Let me go spend money on a big chain. Not knowing that they rented their chain. Now your butt is about to go pay full price for it. Actually overpriced for it to try to fit in. But she got that idea in her head, that little twinkle. Little Muffin that went out of her mind. Now the queens, they up there, they taking their pictures for the AMAs, you know, the pre-party. We out here, cling, 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 we shining. Little Muffin comes in with the little Uzi Vert. Remember, he got a diamond that allegedly cost $24 million, was probably like $2 million, if that. And then they just appraised it for that much in case they lost it. So then he can get $24 million back in insurance, and then he can go drop another 10, 15 million. And now, not only did they get that $2 million from him, now they're about to get another 15 on top of it. That's the way the jewelry game goes. But she comes out with a diamond encrusted unicorn in her head. And they like, what the heck is that? Now, we know Jill's been a mentor for Little Muffin, but she wasn't there when she got out to pick her up and, you know, actually be there for her. Now, when she comes over to talk to her and she's like, hey, I'm sorry. You know, I've been busy doing my thing, but I really wanted to be there. Little Muffin's like, I'm that chick. Y'all remember, hey, the beginning of the episode, they asked her, could she be that chick again? So she feels getting this horn diamond encrusted out of her forehead is making her that chick. So she's looking at Jill like, you changed. Well, I'm back. They do anything for clout. V and Brianna, they sitting there. Now, we know V just got those butt shots, so she can't really stand up. She's moving around all awkwardly. And we got, who's that over at the bar? That's my dog, 504. So he's over there looking, and V's like, ooh, Brianna, he looking at me. I'm about to get me one of these young guns. Because, you know, when that money start running dry and they get a little bit older, they want to feel young, so they go get him a young baller. Well, let's see how this plays out. Now, when he comes over, V's thinking, oh, she about to get 504. It turns out he wants Brianna. He's talking about, you a legend. You sexy, girl. You know what I'm saying? An icon. Don't matter how old you are, you still got that icon status. So V, jealous again, she walks off. And he's over here talking to her. She's like, do you know how old I am? Well, for a young gun to get an icon and he doing his thing, all you're going to do is boost his reputation, because they gonna be like, dang, how'd he get her? You know what I'm saying? We already know how it is for her. But they're looking and she's like, well, I got 5 kids. He's like, well, I got a private jet. We could gas it up. We go overseas. You can bring the kids with you. She's like, what? Look, matter of fact, let's stop all this talking. Here's my number. Call me tonight. Call me tomorrow, next week, next year. We'll make it happen. Your sexy self. Now, you got to remember, this is the AMA's pre-party. You remember what her new girlfriend was saying. Everyone's excited to see Jill and the queens. So the girls, they sitting over here and they're like, okay, where's Jill at? And what do they mean? Jill and the queens performing nasty? What? Wait a minute. That's our song. What's going on here? Jill the Thrill, she didn't went up here and did her own thing. Now, I told you, she's embraced by the community since she came out, the LGBTQ community. Now, I'm assuming these are trans. I'm not too sure. I don't want to offend anybody, but she's up here performing with them because they know that community is dollar signs. There's dollar signs in that community. They're going to support one another, and it don't matter what they do. Pow, 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 pow. They out here. But the girls are like, wait a minute. She's performing all of our lyrics? This ain't gonna sit right, Jill. I don't know what's going on. All I know is it says nasty butches up there. So y'all figure it out and let me know in the comments. Well, Brianna ain't waste no time. Fabio said call me tonight, tomorrow, a week, a year. She called tonight and went up to the room. She nasty. Now the next day, Brianna getting home, Naomi and, saying the youngin' at the house, and she's looking at her phone. She sees something. She's like, oh my goodness, I need to go tell dad. Now, we just introduced Eric to her as her father, so she's calling her dad. That's progression. But Naomi's like, what did you call him? It's like, if this is her dad, let her call her dad. You know what I'm saying? Let her. What are you trying to do? Let her be with her father. You already kept her away, however old she is, but geez Louise. Well, it turns out she was looking at TikTok. And them young guys, they didn't work for Jadakiss. Jadakiss wasn't playing this. He ain't stealing no chains. We too old for that. Plus, we getting real money now. But these young dudes, they just trolling. It's a new challenge. Snatch your chain challenge. I'm like, oh my goodness. That's how somebody gonna snatch their life playing with the wrong person. Now, Eric's trying to explain to her that it's not just a chain. He got this chain 20 years ago after the group broke up. And what he was going to do was give it to her as a sentimental piece and something that meant something to him at that lunch before the kids took it. Now, they're actually at the house where these kids are at, and we're going to get this chain. The ladies, they said, you know what? Jill isn't here. We're going to go ahead and practice steal because we need that money. You know what I'm saying? Now, they say that this is between us. Brianna went over there last night. She ain't do nothing. Just tease the young brother. But hey, I don't think Fabio, just wanted to tease. I'm sure she probably, do that thing back a little bit. Consensual, people. Consensual. Once Jill finally shows up, they're like, where you been? Now, V and Naomi, they're like, all right, cool. Let's get this practicing out the way. Let's get this thing rolling. On the other hand, Brianna's like, nah. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be here, then don't be here. Go ahead and leave. So now it's looking like the group, they may not work it out again. I'm like, every episode we get ready to do something big and something magnificent. And then they come in and they have a huge disagreement and back to square one. Now we know Valeria, she was the original I need all the attention. So she goes and talks to little Muffin and is explaining to her, there may not be no AMAs because we acting like nasty bees. And the advice that she's giving her is, I've been there before. This game ain't fair. So you need to really protect yourself and treat yourself right. Don't go around trying to be anybody else. What is the name of this show? Do anything for clout. Don't be a clout chaser. Just be you. And that's all that you really need to be. Now she's back hanging with the boys and they talking about, smoke a little weed, clear your mind. You was in rehab for coke, not weed. And it's like, come on, you really trying to peer pressure into this? She's like, nah. Now when she goes into the room, She's starting to change her clothes for a complex photo shoot. But when she goes in there, she doesn't put take the shirt off properly, and then knocks the little horn off the head. And I'm talking about, I know that probably hurt it. Damn. You remember Valeria had a stalker at her house and he drove off. Well, it turns out this stalker comes and knocks on the door the next day, and she's thinking, this is weird. She's expecting it to be some young guy, fairy tale. But it turns out this is her mother, and she's saying, I'm sorry about the other night, but I just want to be in your life. Brianna told Alexis she was going to actually go with her to the clinic or to the hospital, wherever she was going to go, to figure out what procedure she needed to take, if she was going to keep the baby or if she wasn't. When she gets there, Alexis never shows up, so she goes to the house and her roommate opens up the door. She's just like, where's Alexis? She's not here. I'm gonna wait on her. Turns out Alexis packed up her stuff and she's gone. So we don't know where she's at right now. We don't know what she wants to do with this child. But now Alexis is kind of confused. Like, I told her I was gonna work through this with her, but we're gonna have to find out where she went next week. I'm talking about everything is just haywire at this point. Jill's husband comes back with the divorce papers. He lights them on fire, talking about, I can't let you go. I'll never hurt you, but I'll never leave you either. I'm like, all right, bro. I was on your side earlier, but you're getting a little weird with all this. Like, hey, if you're not going to get a divorce, hey, I'm not going to do that. We need to talk it out a little more. Saying we need to go a little more in depth. But I'm not showing up and burning some stuff at another. Man, heck no. They'll call the police on your ass so fast. And that's going to look bad in your divorce case too. Just get the annulment, brother. Freeze the accounts and leave this relationship alone. She's gone. But the thing about situations that go bad, it usually brings everyone together. So we see all the ladies hugging because of what Jill's going through with her husband. And then they flip the camera around and we see them all dressed up for the AMAs. And they do a little prayer and they say, it's all on the line here. Let's go out, let's kill it, and make the best of it. Queens for life. They go out there, and I'm sure we're going to see next week if they kill it or if they flop. There you go, episode 5 of Queens. Do anything for Clout. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Alexis is gone for good, or is she actually going to come back? And is she going to keep the baby or not? I want to know what you guys think below. I'm Mo.J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.